Hey, and welcome to this freaky Friday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco. We're coming today live as we do every single day, noon to 2 Eastern, from the Question Tequila Studios. And it hurts me to even say tequila this morning. We'll get into that a little later. Today, all is well. We've made it through another week. We're getting very close to getting through another month. And almost a year, because we'll change to 2020 soon. We're still here. We're still on Broadway. And I am still, as always, joined by my co-host, my compadre, Frankie Morano. Good morning, pal.
Hello there,
Good
John.
afternoon. How
Happy
are you?
Friday.
What's happening?
The time zones always throw you.
I don't know. I don't know why. I'm such a local guy. I forget that we're national, and then I got to consider for these people on the West Coast.
Right. They also replay us at different times, so, you know.
So you don't think I should say good morning or good afternoon, or
No,
just say
hello.
good day, hello?
Hello, good day.
All right. Hello. Speaking of hello, I want to say hello to, I love running into like our frequent viewers and everything. And
it's a rare thing for you.
Yesterday after Liquid Lunch, there was a Liquid get-together with the Episcopo brothers at Oriental Plaza, a traditional holiday horse and all the guys. And one of them, Jimmy Lemons, watches the show every single day. So just, I love pointing out our viewers who watch all the time.
Absolutely.
We need you. And Lemons is into it. All the boys Friday, everybody was going nuts. And then we did a Liquid late night.
Big hello to Jimmy Lemons.
Not with the Lemons crew, but another, high school crew. The holiday season really started piling up around here. We did a Liquid late night last night. And needless to say, the thought of sipping on a Question tequila today is not good.
Yeah, we have U.S. Senate candidate Rick Meza coming in a little later.
Excellent.
And he was a little disappointed that no one offered him his choice of cocktail when he got here.
Okay, well, we can get him whatever he wants. As always, might I mention, if I hadn't already, we are well fortified with the Question tequila in studio. I'm going to try to lay off for this Freaky Friday.
Well, I will, with your permission, John, be bringing a bottle of this to my friends Allison Maloney and Bob something, the hosts of National Report.
That's Bob Sellers.
Bob Sellers, which I will be appearing on at 2:45 this afternoon. I'd love to give him a bottle.
Send them my regards. Please bring them a bottle. Crack it open. Have one on us.
Yeah.
And it probably would be helpful if when you're going on the guy's show, and there are compatriots here on Newsmax, the fastest growing cable news network in America, it would probably be better if you called him Bob Sellers and not Bob something. Just to have a little, internal fraternity with our coworkers.
I have fraternity.
You do.
Yeah.
So I know you probably...
He can call me Frank something if he wants.
All right. Well,
guarantee he doesn't know who I am either.
What are you frankly something speaking about
All right,
today?
John. Well, this is quite serious, and that's why I'm speaking frankly about it. So this is a story that began sort of in New York City and then has expanded outwardly. And obviously everything that happens in New York City, because we're the most important city in the world, kind of immediately becomes national news. In New York City, there are tens of thousands of students in school right now that are being denied even a basic education. Specifically, these are students who attend yeshivas in Hasidic communities. Now, this is not a problem that's unique to New York City. Well, it happened in New York City, and there's tens of thousands of students affected. It happens in Rockland County. It happens in Orange County in communities like Kiryas Joel. It happens in the Five Towns. It happens in New Jersey, in places like Toms River and Deal, New Jersey. In a nutshell, here's what happens. These students go to these yeshivas, not all yeshivas, but many of them, mainly in Hasidic communities. They go to these yeshivas and they learn nothing of math. They learn nothing of science. They learn nothing of history. They learn nothing of what a molecule is. And that's the promise that New York State's Constitution makes. It guarantees every child in this state, whether they go to public school or private school, a sound basic education. And that's why the kids in New York City yeshivas get $100 million in taxpayer money from the city, probably double that if you include the money they get from the federal government and the state government. So a few people were alarmed by this. Having kids spend their whole lives in yeshiva education, coming out of school not knowing what a molecule is. So they do an investigation. The Department of Education does an investigation into these schools, John, and ultimately we keep waiting and waiting and waiting. We're waiting about 4 years. And if we were doing this segment 2 days ago, I would have come before you and said, it's been more than 4 years since this investigation began, and we still don't know what the result is. And I had a lot of people scratching their heads.
Like 4 years?
4 years. Why the delay? What's the delay? Well, shockingly, the Department of Investigation in New York City, whose commissioner is appointed by the mayor, by the way, has found that the delay in this report was due to political reasons.
Wow.
De Blasio did not want this report released before he got, one, reelected, and two, he got renewed control of the New York City school system. So he made these kids
now he has the
suffer.
Got it.
And kept the public in the dark.
This guy's a dirtbag.
Kept the public in the dark,
Dirtbag.
even just for political purposes.
Politically, I don't like his tactics.
I've read this 3-page report, John, and the nicest who, when he was running for president, had taxpayer-funded security detail. This is a guy that narrowly avoided indictment on a campaign fundraising scheme. And this is a guy that has sold a nursing home facility that predominantly cared for AIDS patients to a wealthy
This is why he got knocked out of the presidential race. This is why he couldn't get above 1%.
This is a big problem. And the reason I want to mention this now is twofold. One, I'm calling on Governor Cuomo to appoint a commission to review not just this, but de Blasio's whole conduct and look at removing de Blasio from office. That's number one.
This would be monumental.
Number two.
And it's a nationwide issue, too. Private schools still get money from the federal government. Federal government gives out hunks to states. States pass it down to people who meet some standards. So this is the feds getting ripped off.
And that's the second reason that I think this is important, whether you're living in Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan, or Providence, Rhode Island, or Los Angeles, California. It's because this is going on all over the place. Now, not every place has the kind of large Hasidic community that we do here in the Northeast, and that's great. We want to embrace the Hasidic community, but what we don't want is them to not follow the rules of secular law, which include the fact that you need at least a basic elemental education.
I think we're good at standing up for anti-Semitism and standing up for Christian persecution, freedom of religion, freedom of choice. These are things that America was founded on. But you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? We can't have these advocates like, our friends down at the Republican Jewish Coalition, or the Jew in the city girl, Allison Josephs, right? Mm-hmm. We're supportive of, keeping an eye on advocating against anti-Semitism, right? But what are they doing with these hundreds of millions of dollars? And if they're not playing by the rules, they're supposed to be teaching the kids to write in English, right?
That's right.
And they're not supposed to be teaching them religion all day, but they're reading out of the Torah and they're writing in Hebrew, so they're not assimilating these students to our standards.
Well, it just so happens, John, it's so funny that you say that, because a lot of people might say this is hyperbole, and a lot of people say, Frank, what do you know? If the report hasn't been released yet, how do you know these kids aren't being denied a sound basic education? Well, yesterday it happened. Finally, after a 4-year delay, just a day and a half after the mayor was called out for not releasing this report, shockingly, the report was released. And what did it find? It found that of the 28 yeshivas in New York City, that only 2 are providing a basic secular education.
There you have it.
2 out of 28.
There you have it.
Less than 10%. The real victims are the students who are in these yeshivas, coming out completely unprepared to join the workforce.
Well, we should bring in some of our friends from the Jewish community, and when they have issues that we think are right and we want to advocate, we always give them a place and a platform here. We should bring some of our friends in that community here and say, hey, how come the yeshivas are taking all this money and they're not teaching the curriculum that they're supposed to? We should call them out on that and get some answers. Anyhow, the more important answer to me is, when are we going to get that? When are we going to have that pizza contest? You're looking to have a blind pizza taste test.
Right. Well, I'm all for a blind pizza taste test as long as I get to participate.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have a favorite. Sarah, our makeup lady, has another favorite. I have a favorite. We put the slices out here on the counter, and everybody tastes them blind. Nobody knows. We write on the bottom of the plate who it is.
I think that'd be
and
great.
we see who the finest pizza is. Forget about these Barstool guys. Okay, this guy, he's wherever he's from. Okay, he's over here now. I heard he's opening a pizzeria in New York City, the Barstool guy. We're gonna be the final answer on what the good pizza is. That I can tell you.
Wonderful.
Not a guy from out of state.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's funny. What's his name, Nico?
Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy. You should do a little Barstool sports report and go to his pizzeria and see how it is, and we'll put it in our blind taste test without telling him.
All right.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, what makes Nico an authority on pizza?
Well,
he moved out of Staten Island when he was 3 months old.
Well, he is a senior producer, and he's a really hard worker on the show.
He is a hard worker.
And he's our sports correspondent, and Barstool's kind of like a sportsy type thing, so it's kind of fitting. Pizza, sports, we'll get some beers. I know the guys from Joe and Pat's were saying that they have a new local brewery. They would maybe have a beer and pizza and beer day, and we do it from there.
Love Joe and Pat's.
All right, we're going to mix it up. This is the point in the show where we bring on a Democrat and a Republican every single day. I throw out the topics of the day. I mix up a drink, which I'm probably going to pass on today. But they have thoughtful conversation. We duke it out. No matter what happens, at the end, we shake hands. We part friends. Bill Cortez, regular expert here, Republican strategist, joins us. And Sam Spicone is going to be here representing the Democrats on the left. Grover Norquist is going to be here a little later on for talking about the impeachment and the economy and taxes and some new tax things. And Rick Mehta is going to be here a little later on, leading off hour 2, talking about his Senate aspirations.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We had another Senate candidate from New Jersey on the other day, and there's a lot of attention being paid because people feel like Cory Booker might be neglecting New Jersey. But the interesting thing, Bill Cortez, who's going to be here in just a couple of minutes, he is not only the only male guest we've ever had. That one of our female staffers said to me once, I find him quite hot, so you ladies are in for a treat. But I am of the increasing belief.
Did you just say someone said Rick Mehta's hot?
No, Bill Cortez.
Bill Cortez is hot.
I am of the increasing belief that Bill Cortez is some sort of undercover government agent.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, he's, the typical standard CIA agent look, right out of Central Casting. Veteran, tall, good-looking, all connected into all the political scenes.
He's always available in the middle of the day.
An operator.
What's he doing? Why is he available in the middle of the day?
Smooth operator.
Nobody who has a regular
this is where
job.
we need the DJ Bubba guitar here to come in with a little Sade right there.
I thought he was staying all week.
Coast
what happened?
to coast, LA to Chicago.
All right. Do you want to know about anything that's happening in the news, John? Or do we have to
I
break?
want to know everything that's happening in the news, Frankie, and I want to report it to our audience like we do every single day.
Okay. No. So do we have time here, or do we?
How much time we have left in this segment, Nico?
No, we're not. We're out of time.
He's giving me this, which is 30, but he's really giving me this, and I know what he really wants to give me is somewhere in between this and this. You stay right there. We're going to have a whopper of a Freaky Friday show today. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back after this, and we are going to mix it up with the Purple People, Bill Cortez, Sam Spicone, right after this.